Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be trying a little bit something different. So this is a deck that I have played before, but I wanted to kind of showcase it on the standard ladder and kind of show how this deck works. This is one of my more favorite decks that I've made. Was one of my top decks that I made during the month of August, and definitely something that I have had a lot of fun with and has shown to be pretty good, especially after the championships and showing that Esper is a very good color combination and the legends are just really good. So let's see how well this deck has performed on the ladder. I start pretty low on the ladder because of the season change, but we'll show this deck off. Alright, so we're going to start this off with the opponent going first. Definitely not one of those keepable hands. This is, I mean, it's kind of what you have to do at this point. I mean, this hand's a little slow, but we'll see what they got. Ooh, a little bit of a mountain. That's not the greatest thing, but they didn't play anything to start, so that does make you feel a little bit better, because typically mono red is going pretty fast and this is a very slow hand for mono red. It's really nice to be able to draw the Thopteryx, because I mean, it's something that we can play pretty quickly and it has pretty good toughness. It's not fun to be able to hit yourself against mono red. Oh, okay, so it's looking like a little bit more of a burn. A little bit of a slow burn. So probably going Liliana here. Think about the Braids, but probably going Liliana. Just get rid of the smoldering egg. It's one of those things you just would rather have. Yes, we throw down the Liliana. Make them sacrifice that smoldering egg. Now Liliana has a little bit of a buffer because of the Thopteryx giving all of our legendary creatures ward. Now it would be nice to be able to draw into a white land. It would be really nice. It would set up Elesh Norn or a Wandering Emperor. If we don't, then you're kind of stuck playing the Braids, pinging yourself again with the Pain Land. But kind of sitting there at that spot, it's one of those tough spots too, because you don't know. I'm not sure if I want to discard anything at this point. Opponent's going pretty dang slow for mono red. Light up the night. Alright, so they light it up. That's not a land. That's really annoying. Definitely going to be dropping something here so that they have to drop something. We've got double Wandering Emperors and we don't necessarily need it. That's really tough to be able to not draw into a land. And yep, gonna have to do the Braids. Hit it for the pain. And yeah, no reason why we should be sacrificing anything at this point, because they really don't have anything. And Curse of Hospitality, that's a card I haven't seen very often at all. The first time seeing somebody playing that card, so that makes things a bit more interesting. So this isn't necessarily your normal mono red. Hellkite, that's okay. Plaza of Heroes, that's good. That means we can play something. So thoughts here. You've got Wandering Emperor, you've got Elesh Norn. We also could -2. Yeah, just get rid of their dragon. Because at this point, kind of really don't necessarily want to be discarding any of our cards. We're really low on cards. Nope, not sacrificing anything. So Elesh Norn comes down. Wandering Emperor can come down another turn if we need it to, but Elesh Norn, that's a big body to be able to avoid any sort of burn the opponent's going to do. Oh wow. Professional Facebreaker. Okay. Ooh, an invasion. That's an interesting card. That's an interesting card. We could make them drop their last card. I think we're going to do it. So let's throw down the invasion. And they drop. Okay, sweet. And we get a land. That's huge. So now we've got Sheoldred on the next turn. So do we attack with... Interesting choice here. Yep, just the one at the invasion. Yeah, that's a bit tough. It kind of seems like it's the il-Kor that you've got in the graveyard because it's got to be a creature. Yeah, don't sacrifice anything. Opponent's top decking at this point. We do have a Sheoldred. We do have Wandering Emperor. So we've got good options going. Elesh Norn's going to make it really annoying for the opponent, although they do have the mana available, especially if they're top decking. So they could avoid the Elesh Norn little tax that you have, which is fine in its own way. It's kind of a bit annoying, but you know. And yeah, as you would have thought, you're going to put the Lizard Blades on it. So Menace, double blocking. They've got to pay the tax. They have something with instant speed. They can't kill the Elesh Norn based off of what they did. Yep, okay. That dies. Elesh Norn, now because they hit two things, they have to pay the tax, and they pay all the way up. Okay, so I think you're going Sheoldred here, and we're kind of taking over from this point. Opponent's top decking, we're getting rid of another one of their creatures. We can do pretty well, I think. I think we can do well here. So attacking with the Elesh Norn, it's got Vigilance, so you might as well. Let's see if they block. I would be shocked if they did, because they don't have the mana to pay the tax. We'll get the Lazatop. Yeah, Hellkite. Hellkite doesn't sound bad. It might be better, a little bit better than the il-Kor. But at the same time, probably could go il-Kor. It's got the Death Touch, so it makes things a little bit more difficult for the opponent. Yeah, and it's going to be a 4/4, so the Hellkite was already a 4/4, so what's the point? Holding up for Wandering Emperor. You could have Sheoldreded there and got rid of the Lizard Blades, but they draw land anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter too much. Yeah, they don't do anything. We'll throw the Wandering Emperor down. That looks good to me. Create the 2/2. Gaining life on top of it. Drawing a whole bunch of lands now. Interesting point, but we do... It's nice to have the Takenuma because we can go and get it from our graveyard. And we've got a good chunk of things in our graveyard, so definitely a big fan. Yep, and just attack all. We got Sheoldred, and we can get rid of the Lizard Blades if we really want to, but at the same time, kind of dominating here. So you're going to pay the tax. They do pay the tax. Pay the tax again, because you had the Lizard Blades. Okay, so at this point you could go Takenuma and go grab something from our graveyard. Wait until the opponent's turn, because we do have the Plaza available too, if we really want to protect something. And opponent doesn't draw into anything, and we win that one. Winning that one. Be able to handle a bit of mono red on that one. Alright, so now moving up a rank into that gold. We're going to be going second on this turn. We've got the Funeral, which I've always wanted to try and do. So off to we've got a slow start. We've got 3 lands though, so we've got something. But definitely a really slow turn coming up here. Slow start. Yep, might as well throw that down. We've got four lands now, so that's big. It's huge to be able to have that. So that looked like it was going to be mono green, but throwing down that to make it Golgari. Gingerbread Hunter. Interesting. What are you going to discard though? And we still are going to find out what we're drawing. Is that another Gingerbread Hunter? And we draw into more land, which is always great. Glissa, that's pretty good. Glissa is a pretty good card. We've got Ertai Resurrected though, so we should be fine. But holding up the Ertai because not really a reason why we shouldn't. Yeah, that's not something that we need to counter, so I think that's fine. But yeah, taking out the Glissa is a good option for us on this play here. Alright, so they got the 2 mana now. They could probably get rid of the Ertai, to be fully honest with you at this point. And then we can go Thopteryx and Braids, I think. Yeah, we only have the Braids in our graveyard. It's nice to be... So we've got 6 mana ready to go. I mean, if we had the Thopteryx, that would have been nice to be able to protect it, but... Timing. Ooh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. We've got the Royal Funeral. We lose the 4 life because of the Ertai, and now we don't need another funeral. We've got land, but everything is cheaper. Everything is so much cheaper. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. We can get Kaya down for 5 mana. We can get our Braids down for 2. Elesh Norn for 2. That's fantastic. We can go Kaya on the next turn as well. So they throw down a big thing, and now we can go throw down the Kaya. And oh, and a Ratadrabik? Ratadrabik's really good. That's going to make the decision a little bit different. Because we can go Ratadrabik and a whole bunch of stuff. And then go get the Sheoldred on another turn. Yeah, Elesh Norn and the Thopteryx is a good play here because now we get all of our legendary creatures ward, which is also fantastic. So if they were to get rid of anything, Ratadrabrik's going to bring it back. So big fan. Super big fan. And then we can go Kaya and go get the Sheoldred because we do have the life total to be able to play a little bit slower. We don't see them being able to do it, but this funeral being able to decrease everything by 2 mana is fantastic. It really sets us up for a really good option. And they have to pay the ward. They don't realize what Ratadrabrik's going to do. We're going to get Elesh Norn back. It's a 2-2, but we still get to have the Elesh Norn. They're going to duress and they're going to see, oh, we've got 2 Kayas. That's going to be fantastic. So we're going to lose one of the Kayas. That makes sense. Probably would have thought about taking something else, but they don't. il-Kor is also really nice. We could get an il-Kor and the Kaya. And we could do another Braids. So we'll grab the Sheoldred. And we can go get Elesh Norn. We can go get Elesh Norn right now, too. That's awesome. Yeah, the better way of attacking. We'll get the Invasion and the Lazotep. And bring out... Oh, we could go grab the Glissa. I always forget about the option of taking it from the opponent's graveyard. A 4-4 Glissa. Haha, that's so good. A 4-4 Glissa is so good. Holding up the Takenuma so that we can be able to grab something from our graveyard if we really wanted to. Blossoming Tortoise. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We've got a board presence. Wow, that's a lot of cut downs. Those would have been really nice to be able to have for the opponent. Because we got a lot of things that are just like really cheap. So now we could go il-Kor, we could go Braids, we could go the whole, all of them. Yeah, +2 on that. We're gaining life. They're losing it. We would go Braids. And the il-Kor. This is a fantastic setup for us right now. Definitely enjoy it. Glissa going in. Holding up saving the Sheoldred so that they don't. So we have a Death Toucher. That's awesome. Yeah, Glissa. Gonna get rid of that. We are set up. We are set up big time. And we've got Takenuma to be able to grab something from our graveyard. We don't need to sacrifice anything. Alright, let's wait and see what the opponent's going to play. Oh, Virtue! They grab a Virtue. We could just get rid of that with the Kaya. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take that. And it becomes a creature. And it's still the enchantment. Liliana, and then grab the Takenuma and finish the opponent off. That was awesome. Royal Funeral helping us out big time on that one to be able to play a bunch of stuff really cheaply. Ratadrabik also super strong. Big fan of Ratadrabik. Ah, that's not great. That's not a great mulligan. I mean, that's better, but the sad part is we're going to have to drop 2 things here, and what do you drop? That's really tough. Really tough having to drop 2 things here. But that last game, I loved that last game. I mean, one of the things I've noticed with this deck is that if we can get Ratadrabik on the field with a whole bunch of stuff and the Thopteryx on there, we've got the Ward 2, then we're getting all of our stuff back with Ratadrabik. Man, it's awesome. I absolutely love being able to do that. Okay, so the opponent's running Esper as well. We have to wait. We'll be able to play Liliana, but are we going to be discarding anything? I don't think so. So, yeah, I might as well not play Liliana out because there's no real reason to be able to play Liliana. But at this point, what do you play? Ratadrabrik's not going to do anything good for you, so you might as well wait to do the Wandering Emperor. So I think we'll do that. They quick study, which is really nice for them. Big fan for them to be able to do that. Sheoldred's not the greatest option because now what do? Although we could go Liliana and make them sacrifice it, so that's not necessarily a bad idea there. I don't think, yeah, Liliana I think is the right play here. Think about Ratadrabik, but I mean, we don't have any creatures on the field, so it's not really something that we would necessarily need to do in this moment. So, yeah, do the plus, hit them for 3. And kind of go from there. Now wait for the opponent to decide what they're going to do. But I think what's going to be key for us at this point is being able to draw into our lands. We definitely need to be drawing into our lands. And the other decision is, what do we do with Liliana? Because do we plus Liliana at this point? Because we're already super short on our hands. So I'm not sure exactly what we want to do with Liliana. Because we definitely need to be protective of ourselves. But the opponent handles it for us and they march our Liliana out of there, which is fine. We've got 6 mana. We're 1 mana away from being able to play Kaya. Although the opponent doesn't have anything that they've been playing. They're playing more of the Seems to be more of an Esper control type thing. Create the 2/2. You have an argument to do a plus at this point, but quick study. All right. Opponent got that set up though. That's really good for the opponent to be able to have hands, because I mean, we don't have anything at this point. Sunfall, that's really tough. Right after playing Ratadrabik, probably should have waited. Yeah, it's one of those things that you could see it coming, and that's why you had the argument to throw the +1. Not exactly sure why the idea of doing the Ratadrabik there too was a good idea, because it's not like we were going to be able to get back any of our creatures because they were all tokens. So there wasn't really a reason why you should be playing Ratadrabik, so that's kind of a mistake. Big time mistake on that one. Now we were able to +2 on Kaya, so we're kind of set up in a pretty good way here to be able to try and control whatever the opponent's going to do. So big fan of that, because if they do play a creature, we can, well, that's annoying because they're sure that we were going to do that, so that's really annoying. Because if they do play a creature, we just take it. Royal Funeral. So idea here is we zero. It is an idea. But probably, I think that doing the funeral is a good idea. But at the same point, kind of hoping for the opportunity to grab them out of our graveyard. That's something that we could do. Memory Deluge. Okay. It is what it is. Just waiting on the opponent and seeing what they're going to end up doing here. So they got a number of things they could do. They were able to grab a whole bunch of stuff that they could possibly want. They've done very well. Witness the Future. That's a pretty dang good card. Because they've been able to draw into a whole bunch of stuff, which makes things a bit more difficult for us. So they've got stuff to do, and we draw Plaza, which isn't necessarily something that you're looking to do. They kept the Sunfall in there. They need a way to be able to get rid of this Kaya. We're 2 turns away, although we are 1 turn away technically, because we can still attack with our Vigilance creature. Unless we didn't. I may have missed it. I think maybe that's what it is there, is not attacking with that. Memory Deluge, okay. That's a big hit. We just need to be able to draw into something here. But we're not ahead, but we're kind of limping along here. We're very close. They created another 2/2 instead of creating it as a, and I mean yeah, you can hit that. It's already at 12 loyalty. Another Plaza, man. That's really tough. That's a really tough hit. So they're 1 turn away. They're 1 turn away from losing, so they need to be able to gain some life. They gain some life. Sunset Revelry. That's annoying. Oh, 2 Revelries. That's huge. That is huge. Now you've got options here of plussing the Kaya or zeroing it, because that's really tough. That's really tough, being able to have that. That's 3 plazas in a row, right? That's 3 plazas in a row. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of plazas. That's nuts. That is a nuts amount of plazas. That's enough land. We don't need more land at this point. They Wandering Emperor, so now they got 4 2/2s. That's big for them. A Tenacious Underdog, that's also huge. So they put the +1/+1 on that. So that's 4. Yeah, that's tough. Another land. Man, this game could have been over if we just didn't draw. We flooded out hard in this one. We have flooded hard in this one. Do -3, do 0. I mean, there's some stuff. There's some stuff to play. So go il-Kor first, so that if they have got a counter, that's okay. Ratadrabik comes down. That's big. Having the Ratadrabik actually hit is big. We still only have the 2 things in our graveyard, which is just really unfortunate. Man, we are off to a really, really good start, and it has just slowed down to an absolute crawl. So finally playing this. So opponent allows it to hit the ground, but they void rend it. All right. And that's a good thing that they void rendered it now, because then we don't exile anything in our graveyard, and we also don't eat for life, because at this point we're really behind. We'll get the il-Kor back because of the Ratadrabik. So trying to get rid of something there was helpful. It's not great losing your Kaya, especially when we were ahead by as much as we were. We've got an Elesh Norn. Let's see if this hits. It would be really big. It'd be a really big hit. Dissipate. That's tough. That is tough. And Dissipate goes to our exile, which is also tough. Alright, so they're out of cards, but they've got a board presence that is definitely a little bit better than ours. Going in Vigilance here. They could get rid of the Ratadrabik. Alright, so they invest into their token. So they can get rid of our Ratadrabik, and they can get rid of our il-Kor. Just really tough. Kind of being a little bit desperate at this point, because yeah, I mean, we've got 3 plazas, right? We got enough mana, so might as well protect it. Yeah, so those go away. The board goes down a little bit. They still have a Mire, which isn't the funnest thing in the world, but that flood was a really difficult flood. Flooding out is just really difficult to be able to handle and be able to come back from. But we'll see if we can do it. We've got 34 life. Memory Deluge was a really good draw for them because now they get double draw. Go for the Throat. That's tough because now we can't protect it because we protected it last turn. Yeah, those are some tough draws. I don't know. It could have been 7 mana in a row. A really big time flood. Or it could have been 5. It was at least 5. I know it was at least 5. But our life total is really going to go down now at this point. Invasion is not necessarily the thing you're looking for here. Because we don't really have anything. We do draw a card, so that could be something. Thopteryx. I mean, it's a Thopteryx, so that's annoying. It is annoying to be able to draw a Thopteryx. Let's see what the opponent draws here. The only thing we can stop at this point is that Mirex token. They created 2/2. It's going to take us a long time to be able to get to the invasion, though. Smart by the opponent. Braids. I mean, it can be good, it can't be good at the same time. Yeah, kind of need to go after the invasion here. That's just kind of something we need to be able to do. It's one of the things that's going to be able to give us anything back, because the Lazatep is going to turn into something. We've got stuff in our graveyard, so we do have options if we can get to it. But these plussings by the Wandering Emperor make it really difficult to be able to protect ourselves. We do have the 1 lifelink with the Thopteryx, but it's really not enough. They're going to be hitting us for 11 each turn, which is huge. That's a huge amount. Man, and we started so well. And that's the hard part about this game, is that we did start so well. We took them down to 2 life. Those Sunset Revelries were really good for them. Being able to draw was a bunch of cards for them was massive. It was just incredibly massive for them to be able to do that. So exile the underdog. We gain life with that, so that's also kind of big. But at the same time, they definitely still have the tokens and the Wandering Emperor. So idea here is to sacrifice our Wandering Emperor and see if they sacrifice their Wandering Emperor. They don't have to. They can just pay the life, but at this point it's kind of one of those like desperation attempts because it's killing us right now. So I guess we can see what we end up doing here and what kind of decisions we're going to make. Because it is a desperation attempt. It 100% is a desperation attempt. And they can 100% keep, because we can't go in on them. Like, and they keep it. So drawing another Braids is not exactly what you're looking for. Kind of hoping for a different creature. But them being able to plus on their Wandering Emperor all the time just makes things really difficult to be able to really feel like you can stop the opponent. And at this point, I would probably all attack as well, because any point of damage is big point of damage. We get some lifelink from that, so we're kind of... It is what it is on that one. So, yeah, for the funeral, that's gonna do it for us on this game. So that is unfortunate. we started so well, we did well, but the opponent being able to, like I've stated, the opponent being able to draw into everything that they had just made things really tough, and ultimately is the reason why we're losing this game. So we're just going to go finish the game off. We'll grab Sheoldred and lose our life. Alright, thanks so much for sticking around all the way to the end of the video. As you can see, the deck does very well. It was unfortunate to lose that last game, but it does fairly well on the ladder, and I was able to jump up from silver tier 4 all the way up into the gold, so I was able to do very well with this deck and be able to do that. Ended up showing a win and a loss, but that loss was a fun game for me to be able to play. It was a bit unfortunate, kind of flooded out a little bit, got them down to 2 life, and we were sitting at 34 and ended up losing that game. Really tough to be able to flood out like that, but it does fairly well, and the games can be done well, and we were able to handle mono red and just do well with this deck. Thanks so much for watching and indulging on this video, and until next time.
I went for the head.